Joining us now is our fifth finalist team, Cal Poly Slo.
California produces 3 million tons of wine grapes per year, making grapes California's third highest valued commodity. During the winemaking process, however, 16% of the grape's mass is left in the form of pomace, or remaining skins and seeds, which is largely underutilized. However, new analysis has found that pomace has qualities comparable to that of a superfood, high in fiber, protein, and antioxidants. In just 1/2 cup, there's 24 grams of fiber, 16 grams of protein, and more antioxidants than broccoli or blackberries. Located in the heart of Sonoma Valley, Jackson Family Wines produces 60,000 tons of grapes per year. And in previous years, their pomace was being hauled off at a cost to Kendall Jackson. However, due to its newfound value, Kendall Jackson established Whole Vine as a subsidiary company to launch pomace into the marketplace. Whole Vine then hired us, Coastal Consulting, to determine the best use for their pomace. In searching for the best use, we did extensive market research. And during this research, we found that consumer trends in better-for-you foods are increasing. Now more than ever, consumers are actively trying to incorporate health foods into their meals. Take, for example, using cauliflower as a base for tater tots, or even going as far as incorporating spinach into chocolate chip muffins. Because of these changes in better-for-you food trends and the valuable characteristics pomace possesses, Coastal Consulting is excited to introduce Rise. Rise is the baking mix line which combines the versatility of a baking mix with the superfood qualities of great pomace. Blair will explain market analysis.
The baking ingredients market is expected to grow 5.2% annually to reach $15.2 billion by 2020. The baking mix segment accounts for the largest share of this market and is valued at $1.8 billion. Of baking mixes, specialty mixes are experiencing the most growth and account for 9.4% of the total baking mix market value. Consumers are seeking out added nutrients in their baking mixes, specifically protein and fiber. Over 30% of U.S. consumers choose foods solely because they are high in protein, and over half of cake mix buyers look for fiber in their mix. The following perceptual map provides a brief synopsis of today's baking mix category. The horizontal axis refers to the healthfulness of the product, ranging from nutrient-dense to nutrient-poor. The vertical axis refers to how consumers perceive those ingredients being incorporated, ranging from clean and simple to artificial and complex. Making up quadrant 4 are our most traditional mixes. Brands such as Bisquick and Krusteaz have occupied store shelves for years, mainly because they can be purchased at a low cost of around 7 cents an ounce. However, in a category being transformed by health trends, these mixes are falling flat. Leveraging consumer trends for simple ingredients, smaller market players in quadrant 1, such as Miss Jones Baking Company and Pamela's Products, have emerged and captured market share. These mixes are clean and simple, free from artificial additives. However, they offer no additional nutritional benefits and are much more expensive than their traditional counterparts. Looking across the spectrum, in quadrant 3, our mix is packed with nutrients. Brands such as P28 and Flapjack incorporate either fiber or protein. However, their ingredient lists are lengthy and complex, and they are much more expensive due to their supplement-type ingredients. The most opportunity for a new baking mix entering the market lies in quadrant 2. This is where natural ingredients are best incorporated to offer a clean mix with added health benefits. Priced around 33 cents an ounce, brands such as Bob's Red Mill and Kodiak Cakes currently occupy this space. However, neither mix features a superfood. An opportunity exists for great pomace to be incorporated in a better-for-you baking mix to offer an unrivaled level of natural nutrient density. Shane will now lead us through market segmentation.
After researching mothers based off their attitudes, behaviors, and motives towards food product purchasing, Coastal Consulting developed 5 segments of the American mom. Each differ in core beliefs, opinions, and purchasing behaviors. However, after careful analysis, the Power Mom segment is of most interest to Holbein. Accounting for 20% of all moms, approximately 5 million, the Power Mom is a 28 to 44-year-old woman who balances her time between her career, children, and community. These women are college educated, earning an average household income of above $100,000. To save time in the kitchen, Power Moms seek easy to prepare food products and strive to feed their children nutritious and tasty meals. Not only do Power Moms play an active role in their children's lives, these women enjoy engaging with friends through social media. Respecting the opinions of their network, Power Moms are more likely to purchase items recommended by their friends. This technologically savvy group also enjoys purchasing products online. Coastal Consulting has deemed the Power Mom as the market segment to most likely be receptive to a simple, nutrient-dense, better-for-you baking mix. To determine demand amongst Power Moms, Coastal Consulting surveyed over 1,400 primary grocery shoppers and exposed them to a product concept. The majority of women, 25 to 44, with children under the age of 18, strive to eat healthy food and seek out simple food products high in protein, fiber, and antioxidants. Respondents also indicated a high likelihood of purchasing a better-for-you baking mix priced from $5 to $6.99. After conducting a SWOT analysis, Coastal Consulting has determined that Holbein's main weakness of having an unestablished distribution network will be overcome by their access to funds to cover initial startup costs. Additionally, by capitalizing on consumer demand for nutrient-dense food products, Holbein can overcome the threat of established competitors in the marketplace through pomace-enriched products. To set the RISE recipe for success, I'll pass it over to Caitlin to discuss the business proposition.
The goal for Holbein is simple. RISE will transform the untapped superfood potential of grape pomace into a baking mix line that will financially benefit grower-owned Jackson Family Wines. To ensure this goal is achieved, 4 objectives have been outlined with regard to market penetration, return on marketing investment, customer acquisition costs, and market share. Stemming from a strong push for product trial, by year 1, a 2% market penetration within Power Moms will be reached. To ensure marketing dollars are spent effectively, the RISE team will verify that ROMI exceeds 100% by year 2, and there's a 30% reduction in customer acquisition costs by year 3. Lastly, the aim is to reach a 3% market share of the specialty baking mix segment by year 3. Coastal Consulting is excited to introduce RISE. RISE is the baking mix line which transforms traditional recipes into nutrient-dense, additive-free foods, helping Power Moms create better-for-you family favorites. Jenna will now continue with the product.
RISE is the healthful yet tasty alternative to many traditional mixes. The better-for-you baking mixes come in 3 different varieties: pancake and baking, bread and pizza dough, and vanilla cake mix. Based on published research and taste tests we conducted, integrating 20% grape pomace neither affects the taste nor the functionality of the product. Combining grape pomace with other simple, natural ingredients gives RISE products 6 times the fiber, added protein, and drastically less sugar than its competitors. The high antioxidant value of grape pomace acts as a natural shelf life extender, making RISE products last for 3 years while still being free of preservatives. Capitalizing on RISE's local growth and production, RISE packages will showcase made in California and natural seals, as well as appeal to the allergen-sensitive consumer by being nut, soy, dairy, and egg-free. Its stand-up, resealable packaging will not only capture the attention of consumers in an aisle filled with boxes, but also increase user ease and ensure proper storage of the product. RISE is formulated to benefit consumers and is unmatched by any competitors. Rise is meeting the needs of Power Moms and her family in the kitchen. Eleanor will explain price and place.
Wholevine will offer cases of Rise to distributors for $21. From the distributor, cases of 6 will be sold to retailers for $27. The suggested retail price on each Rise baking mix is comparable to competitors at $6.50, approximately 41 cents per ounce. This markup provides retailers a 31% margin on each Rise package. Wholevine will partner with distributor United Natural Foods, Inc. to be initially sold in independent grocery stores and Sprouts Farmers Markets, focusing on 2 of the most populated areas in California. These areas rank 1st and 4th, respectively, in terms of grocery sales nationwide. In year 1, Rise will be pushed on the shelves of 200 grocery stores throughout California. As brand awareness grows, in-store placement will expand throughout the state, reaching 750 stores by year 3. By capitalizing on Power Moms' preferences to shop online, Rise will also be sold on Amazon.com, utilizing Amazon's professional plan. With our strong digital marketing approach, online sales will account for 5% of sales in year 1 and increase to 7% and 10% in years 2 and 3. Blair and Caitlin will now showcase our promotional strategies.
Rise's integrated, aggressive promotional strategies are focused on appealing to retailers, distributors, and consumers alike. The following promotions will be executed by the marketing team, including the sales manager, marketing director, and brand ambassadors. This 2-pronged approach will feature trade promotions, initial exposure, digital marketing, events, and public relations. Trade promotions will be essential in gaining access into Rise sales channels. The marketing team will host a booth each year at the Winter Fancy Food Show and Natural Products Expo West, offering samples and interacting with retailers. To further reach trade partners, Rise will run advertisements 6 times a year in California Grocer, the California Grocers Association's leading publication, to reach over 90% of the state's grocery industry. To reduce the risk associated with stocking a new product, Rise will offer free case trials as an incentive for retailers.
Now that we've touched on trade partners, let's dive into engaging Power Moms. Coastal Consulting has crafted initial exposure promotions to familiarize Power Moms with the simple ingredients, healthfulness, and versatility of Rise. Brand ambassadors will host in-store sample booths in 75 stores in year 1, expanding to 150 stores by year 3. Shoppers will be encouraged to try foods made with Rise and will receive a BOGO coupon. Other in-store sample booths will pair Rise with Wholesome Sweeteners, another brand promoting simple ingredients to top Rise cakes and pancakes. This will drive current Wholesome users to Rise mixes. To reach West Coast Power Moms, Rise will provide the bread and pizza dough mix to Blue Apron for a better-for-you pizza dinner. Enclosed promotional materials will provide links to Rise social media, website, and Amazon.com.
Power Moms are constantly connected and respect the opinions of their network. The Rise marketing team will connect frequently online with Power Moms by using automated posts via Hootsuite and timely engagement from the marketing team. Rise's Facebook and Instagram pages will highlight the variety of ways to use Rise, including Simple Saturday, holiday-themed posts, and step-by-step recipe videos. To get in touch with Power Mom's creative side, Rise will host the Life is What You Bake It recipe challenge, and the winning recipe will be displayed on the back of specialty marked Rise packages. Because Power Moms are leaders within their communities, Rise will host the Rising Star contest to honor mothers making a difference. The nominated women can share the Rise post, further driving traffic back to Rise social media. Each month, a winner will be selected and will receive the Try It Trio, a sample pack of all 3 baking mixes. Pinterest is another website frequented by Power Moms. The marketing director will create pins that highlight the many ways to use Rise, as well as utilize promoted pins. These pins will link back to Rise.com, the official Rise website, which will include a store locator, email list sign-up, additional product information, and extra recipes. Because Power Moms respect the opinions of their peers over traditional advertisements, Rise will purchase verified reviews through the Amazon Vine program when the product is originally launched. To further incentivize Power Moms to leave a review, follow-up emails will be sent after an online purchase, offering a coupon in exchange for a review.
To further leverage the power of influencers, Rise will provide product to social media influencers and cooking bloggers to utilize in their content. 13 of these top individuals will be selected for the Baker's Dozen and will receive the Try It Trio. The Baker's Dozen will be featured on Rise's website and further incentivized to post about Rise. The influencer with the most brand-related content each year will win a Sonoma County spa getaway. Finally, face-to-face interaction will generate excitement around the Rise brand, while public relations will show Rise's commitment to making a difference. To reach Power Moms as they cheer their children on, Rise will host pop-up breakfast stands at youth sports tournaments. Families will receive a pancake breakfast when they post a picture with the giant Rise pancake using hashtag RiseUp. Rise will also partner with the San Francisco Zoo and sponsor family overnight adventures. Brand ambassadors will host pizza with the penguins and serve a better for you pizza to the guests. Sample bags of Rise will be distributed to families when they like, post, or pin about the brand during their stay. Content generated by these promotions will be utilized on Rise social media to generate interaction. To ensure all families receive nutritious meals, Rise will donate 1% of profit each year to the No Kid Hungry organization. To leverage the impact of these events and donations, the marketing director will release public relations to local media outlets. Eleanor will now roll out the dough with financials.
In year one, Holbein will utilize 50,000 pounds of grape pomace from Jackson Family Wines to produce and sell over 125,000 packages of Rise mixes. At a 2% market penetration rate, expecting Power Moms to purchase 2 Rise baking mix packages per year, sales revenue will reach nearly $450,000. Holbein will expect an increase in market penetration to 4.5% and 7.5% in years 2 and 3. Holbein will also expect an increase in sales dollars from year 1, totaling at over $3 million in sales by year 3. The average cost of goods sold for the 3 Rise baking mix products is estimated at $1.57 in year 1, which will slightly decrease in the following years due to economies of scale. The Holbein's operating expenses account for the general manager's salary, office supplies and rental expenses, the transportation of pomace to the drying, milling, and co-packer facilities, as well as distribution to the nearest Amazon warehouse. The greatest share of our marketing budget is composed of the marketing team, trade promotions, cross-promotion with Blue Apron, and digital marketing expenses. The initial push in the first year through social media and Blue Apron subscription boxes will allow us to reach Power Moms. Accounting for 75% of sales revenue in year 1, our integrated and aggressive promotional strategy will result in a net loss. However, this approach will set a strong foundation for future market penetration and sales growth in the following years. By year 3, Holbein will reach a profit margin of 35%. Shane will now explain monitoring and measuring.
To make sure our targets are achieved, objectives on market penetration, return on marketing investment, customer acquisition cost, and market share will be actively monitored through third-party analytic tools like Qualtrics and Hootsuite. If expectations are exceeded, Rise will continue to heavily invest in marketing campaigns with the greatest returns and extend product lines to include new varieties, packaging sizes, or gluten-free and organic options. If checkpoints indicate less than desirable results, Rise will refocus marketing strategies and develop new techniques to increase awareness. Jenna will now put the icing on the cake to conclude this marketing plan.
Coastal Consulting is pleased to present this marketing plan. Rise is the solution for problems that Power Moms have been facing. By strategically placing Rise into a void in the marketplace, its combination of natural ingredients and nutrient density allows it to fulfill a need for consumers that has yet to be met. Integrated promotional strategies geared directly to Power Moms will result in a 7.5% market penetration rate by year 3. This high market penetration allows Rise products to be profitable in year 2 while grossing over $3 million in sales and utilizing 150,000 pounds of grape pomace by year 3. Not only are Rise mixes benefiting consumers, but also helping generate additional revenue for California grape growers by purchasing pomace from producers which used to have to be hauled off at a cost. Rise is the baking mix line that Power Moms have been waiting for. It's time to rise to a new level of health with Rise. At this time, we'd be happy to address any questions.
So if this is a really great ingredient and sounds like it is, why not start with trying to get that ingredient placed in people who are in mixes that already exist, rather than start from scratch and build our own and try to introduce another mix in the market?
That's a really good point, and that's definitely something we considered. We considered going into food service, we considered going to bakeries, going to other forms that consumers might be more familiar with. However, what we really noticed is when we looked at our perceptual map, James, if you wouldn't mind pulling that up for me, that the overall ingredients when we're looking at this category is that the other brands aren't pushing what we're pushing. We're showing natural ingredients, we're showing simplified foods and overall health, and other brands currently aren't incorporating that. They aren't striving for health when they're pushing their branded product. And so we wanted to create a brand that started something new. We wanted natural, we wanted a healthy product, a better for you product. And to ask another brand to transition its brand promise is much more difficult to do than to simply create a brand that's putting forth a whole new brand.
You gave a nice competitive landscape, and I love that slide that you just had up there. On that same discussion, you were kind of talking a little bit about the prices, and I was a little bit confused of how you all fit into that market. You say Bisquick is 7 cents an ounce, and what was the other one? Some of the more premium ones were 83 cents an ounce. Where do you all fall in that?
Absolutely. James, could you bring up that slide again? So we can walk through our price points, and something to note specifically that I'll point out is the reason we use the cost per ounce is because many of these brands position themselves in different ways. For example, you can find your brands such as Bisquick and Krusteaz at Costco in those huge packages. But really, our direct competitors lie above that horizontal axis, so in quadrants 1 and 2. In quadrant 2, those that are positioned similarly to us, that are incorporating nutrient-dense ingredients and also offering quite a natural product, Kodiak Cakes is actually available at Costco. They have a 4.5-pound box with 3 separate bags inside, and that cost is around 28 cents an ounce. Now, looking at Bob's Red Mill, they're on the higher end of that spectrum, between 45 cents an ounce to 50 cents an ounce, because they have such a variety of their mixes. Their lower carb mix falls at that 50 cents an ounce price range in a similar package of 1 pound. And we're priced at 41 cents an ounce, so right about in the middle. Okay. Where we really look into our opportunity, however, is in quadrant 1. These ingredients have different propositions, such as the fact that they may be gluten-free or they may be organic, but their prices are upwards of 56 cents an ounce for a similar package in that 1 pound price point. So we're confident that with our price point, we can offer a similar clean mix, but with those added health benefits and really give a value to our consumers.
Great answer.
I may have heard this wrong, so I apologize if I heard this wrong, but I think you said, the big challenge is going to be lack of distribution, but we thought that we had more than enough money to buy our way in. And I think we're going to 200 stores, is that right, the first year? Walk me through that a little more in terms of the price point, in terms of, not the price point, but in terms of, can you actually buy your way into those stores since you don't have an established distribution channel?
Yes, of course. Just to clarify, I believe you're talking about the SWOT analysis where we said that our Whole Vine is a subsidiary company to Kendall Jackson.
Yes.
So in order to cover those first-year startup costs, to cover our loss in year 1, they are really supportive of Whole Vine and the venture of this product. Okay. So in order, the distribution aspect to your question, in order to get into those stores, we really have trade specialized promotions to really work with trade partners in getting our product on the shelves. So first off, we're offering a really competitive margin for those retail at 31%, which the range of a product of this sort ranges from 20% to 32%. So that is a benefit to our retailers, as well as we're offering a free fill of our case product. So we're offering, as an incentive to get our product moving off of their shelves, we're offering a free fill for them as well.
Okay, great, thank you.
So I have a question on the financial side as well. On our marketing expenses, what I notice is that you have digital marketing. In year 1 to year 2, it goes down, but then from year 2 to year 3, it goes back up. Can you help me understand that and why it's set up that way?
Absolutely. The reason the price is higher in year 1 is because we're paying for the creation of our website. And after that, we've allocated for a smaller amount for website upkeep, and those other digital marketing expenses are going up where the website is going down.
Well, speaking a little bit about marketing, I understand your reasons for LA and San Francisco, obviously with your the Power Mom as a market. Did you give any considerations to other geographies that might have cheaper marketing costs?
Absolutely. When looking at our market, we notice that power moms are in those urban areas around, but there are a few reasons that we decided to focus in California starting out, and therefore focus our strategies in California as well, those in-person strategies. So first and foremost, we know that we have access to some great markets. Those markets in LA and San Francisco being the first and fourth in terms of grocery sales. So also from a logistics standpoint, this is a California-based company, and we believe that we can gain some strength in starting in those markets. But to get to your point, of course, there are some expenses that are more for those in-person expenses that would be more expensive starting in California. But we know that this is going to be a very strong way to reach our Power Mom, and we also have a strong digital online focus because we know that Power Moms exist outside of California. We really want to set ourselves up for expansion beyond those years, and digital marketing is a cost-effective way to not only reach our California Power Moms, but Power Moms outside and throughout the United States.
Question on the financials. You had talked about what was included in the operating expenses, and I believe you said transportation to Amazon. How are you getting your product to the grocery stores? They're not ordering it through Amazon, are they?
To answer your question, we have planned for the distributor to pick up the product from our co-packer and then from there distribute it to our retailers.
So the distributor will pick it up directly. You won't have any transportation cost whatsoever involved with that.
Yes. We account for the transportation from the dryer and miller to the co-packer.
And in follow-up, you had put there that you had the natural kind of starburst on the packaging. What are you meaning by natural? Because, I mean, your Power Moms they're savvy. They know the difference between organic and natural. So what are you trying to get across with that?
We understand that natural can have a lot of different conceptions to different individuals. So the first thing we did was when we structured our primary research, we surveyed over 1,400 different individuals. And those that met the Power Mom criteria, we gave them a list of different options that they could choose from as to what held the most merit for them on a package. And one of those was natural. So we're aware that natural means a lot to them. And we're not trying to push it as organic. By natural, we mean that we're using simple, unprocessed ingredients, just trying to keep it really natural. And by that, it's something that's easy to understand, something that they can recognize. So when we look at our ingredients, it's unbleached flour, it's grape pomace, which although it's a new product, it's still easy to understand. They can still read it, they can Google it, they can go on our website to understand that knowledge and that education behind it. And the smaller parts of our ingredients are salt and baking soda. So when we say natural, what we're trying to push is the quality of our ingredients, not necessarily the form of our ingredients, whether they be organic or traditional. Really, when they turn over the back of that package, they're seeing things that they can recognize. And we know that resonates with them, and that's why we tried to push that on the front of our package.
Yeah, I love that thought of the clean label, to follow up on that. So you say flour, grape pomace, baking soda, and salt are the 4 ingredients. Are you going to be able to get by with just putting those in there, or are you going to need to put the chemical names for salt and the flour and even the grape pomace?
You know, although that sometimes companies do put longer chemical names in them, there are similar companies to us, such as Pamela's or Simple Mills, that have been doing the more simplified name versions of it. And we saw those, and we saw that they were pushing themselves as natural, and that consumers were receptive to that. So that's why we chose to use the less chemical advanced names and go for the simple layman terms names that consumers can recognize on the back of our package.
And you'll be able to do that and still be compliant with all of the
Yes, it is
laws?
still compliant with the FDA.
Mm-hmm. The photos that you showed of the grape pomace, it's pretty purple. And you're showing baking mixes for things that should be white or yellow cake mix. So won't that color affect the final product, and have you tested that?
Absolutely. That was something that we really wanted to be sure that consumers could get past if that color was really going to affect the color of the mix. However, in a 20% ratio, the color isn't affected much, as 80% of it is unbleached flour. However, we did test this product with consumers, and we tested it in both ginger snap cookies and in donuts. So we really interacted with consumers at an event and got them to try. And something that we noticed is once the product is actually baked and made, that color fades away slightly. And in addition to this, we're confident that consumers can get past that because it really doesn't show up in the final product.
So I appreciated the market research that you had that showed the 1,400 quantitative study that you used. And I saw the baking trends that specialty baking products is going up, and I understand that Power Moms are our target, but I'm missing the link between how do we know that Power Moms actually cook and actually purchase this product?
That's a great question, and really that's where our primary research comes into play. Specifically, our findings from primary research show us that power moms are baking anywhere from 1 to 5 times a month. In addition to that, power moms are cooking at home anywhere from eating out from home, anywhere from 1 to 5 times a month as well. So we really know that they're at home, they're cooking, and they're also baking.